Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better for you. Today we're trying to be doing a blessed run on our Ornn, which is pretty much just trying to fit as many XP relics on him as possible while still clearing a high-end adventure. Now for Ornn, I know a lot of people consider him to be one of the weakest champions. He has gotten a lot better since they made some adjustments to his star powers. For one, they changed it so you no longer have the landmark on your board, and now when you're able to get these forges, they're now going to be free, and then they also forge twice, at least the first one each round. So they made some solid improvements to him, and Ornn can have some pretty good builds, especially with some epic relics, especially using like the spectral scissors to copy your ram and normally just be able to end. Honestly, we could try to throw on one of those here, but I think we'll try to do a full build with just these and see how we're able to really go with this. Now, while Ornn can normally be on the weaker side, I think for these weekly nightmares, especially this one right here, starting with the 10 mana, I think we should be pretty good, because like the biggest issue with Ornn is you're often starved for mana, and so being able to just start with 10 mana right out the gate, I think he should actually be decently strong, or at least hopefully strong enough to clear this adventure. Now, if you're enjoying all our daily content, like, subscribe, as always, is greatly appreciated. If you want even more content, check out the links down below for the Twitch channel or the replays channel. Also, if you want to go the extra mile supporting the channel and becoming a member, that's greatly appreciated. Helps me stay here pumping out these daily videos for all of you. But regardless of any of that, just thank you for watching, and let's jump into it. Let's see here, what can we get for our first power? Enfeebling, Raiding Party, or Endurance. All of these are actually pretty solid. We normally have units that are going to be sitting on the board for a little bit. Raiding Party can be good. I think we will go for Enfeebling. It's one of the best defensives in the game. We don't really have a lot of effects that can damage enemy units outside of just blocking, but even then I think it could be good. Normally enemies, though, we should be able to just flat out kill them with our blocks, so scaling up could be potentially better. Yeah, I think let's actually go here. Enfeebling Strike, the biggest benefit is normally when you can have some amount of poke damage, so you can chip down the enemies and make them a little bit weaker before they actually attack you. And with Ornn, we don't really have anything to do that baseline, so maybe we could pick up some good spells, like an Avalanche could really help, but I think we'll go for Endurance. Normally our units are going to be taking multiple hits. This is just going to help our units survive and stay on the board, which can be pretty important for us, so I think, yeah, we'll try to go here. So let's go for the Maker. This one can be very annoying. Hopefully we can get some units that are immediately strong enough that they don't get recalled. Well, let's try to go for it. All right, we don't really need Warding Stones. Also, Warding Stone is going to be awful here, but this can be fine. Having the Bone Club can be decent. One issue is as soon as we play something, they're probably going to just recall it. Although if we drop Ornn, he won't level, but he could immediately copy the one equipment we have in hands.
I made this hammer. It was so good I named it Hammer. No need to thank me. It's no trouble.
Do we want to immediately attack? Most other units we play are just going to get recalled. Sure, I think let's just go ahead and attack. This will level us up.
Good. Yes.
So yeah, not too terrible.
Temper the steel, strengthen the metal.
Wordplay. Very good.
Yep. I knew that unit was very likely to get recalled. Our Bella's Breath isn't too bad. That's pretty rough. That is very rough. So we could drop this here and it would kill two of their targets, but then they still have all of these. And most units we play have a very high likelihood of just getting immediately recalled. I think let's drop this here to at least kill two of their units. Yeah, that is not the best.
Traditions are lost if not passed on.
All right, this is our next biggest unit, so it's the least likely to get recalled, but that still very well could happen. All right, they didn't do that. That's actually good for us.
Very good.
So we need to block both these here because they're just ridiculously large. I mean, dropping a Ruthless Raider, I feel like it's not really going to matter since it's just going to get probably recalled. All right, so we'll attack here with Ornn. He's going to get a bunch of scaling, and then he's going to summon this massive ram, so hopefully this will just be enough to end. Well, that sucks. Sure, we can go for the Upcycle Break. That's fun.
The Switch those.
We'll try to develop our board a bit. They only have one card left. As long as we can buff up these units enough, they'll have a hard time recalling them.
My gifts cannot be refused, for they are not.
Not great, but that is the only card they had, which I feel like is not too bad.
A good fight's the spice of life. Garlic works in a pinch.
I will tell you.
So yeah, we're just gonna work on developing. And yeah, there shouldn't really be anything they can do to stop this now unless they drew one more. We could try to rely on our scout attack. Actually, no, our scout's right here.
You're all in trouble now.
All right, there we go. GG. Took a little bit, but able to get through. All right, a buried in ice. That's kind of fun. We don't really need the mana gem, but we could still play this, which could be pretty funny. Wrath of the Freljord, Piercing Darkness. The champion draw is nice to make sure we get our Ornn, and then Draining Health is also solid. So yeah, both of these are decent. I think we'll go for the Piercing Darkness. Our main win condition is having our Ornn and letting him do a big attack. So I think we'll go here, but very nice is funny. If we see it again, we might pick it up. Let's go for support champion. What can we get? Jarvan's not bad. Nora's okay. The Cataclysm could be really good because that could get our Ornn to attack again. So sure, I think let's go ahead and go here. All right, so double champion items again. I think we'll go for the T-Hex. Let's get rid of a couple of these. We like having a combat cook so that it can immediately give us some equipment. But we do have our Ornn already. That's not too bad. Yeah, I think we'll just, again, drop our Ornn right away. All right. We'll try to drop the Gallant Rider. If we could also give him an equipment, that would be nice.
I'm on it.
Although him being able to attack, I mean, he would just die. Let's go ahead,
Welcome.
forge him up, and sure, since we have the regen, we can attack some of their bigger units.
Good. Yes.
So got that level up. All other attacks now are going to give us that ram, which will be very big. Jarvan's not bad. That barrier is solid, but I think let's actually go ahead and kill that unit. We'll get another champion draw. We want to keep forging up our Ornn so that the ram gets even bigger. Let's go for the combat cook just to have a blocker. All right, nice. They didn't even want to attack. Kind of surprising. I think let's try to go for a Cataclysm here. So yeah, this should pull out our Jarvan and give us our ram. Yeah, I think that'll be really good.
Hammer never fails. Here comes my molten friend. Soldiers of Demacia!
Wow. What's his level up again? Round start, create a fleeting Cataclysm. That's actually going to be perfect for us. Then we could attack with Ornn next round if we needed it, but we shouldn't. We should just end right here. All right, that should be game. Nice.
In trouble now.
I really hope Jarvan actually gets added as a champion. He is pretty fun. Add 2 copies of a card to your deck. Silence is nice. Tidal Invocation doesn't really matter. This is a big unit. I think I actually like the Purify. Since they also are starting at 10 mana, they can drop some pretty big units. So being able to spend 2 mana to nullify like an 8 or a 10 cost would be good. Normally we're wanting to spend our mana on generally our like champions or smaller units just to get blockers. And then this having an evoke could be good as well. Champion item. We do need him to block. We could make him cost slightly less or give him some more stats. Making him a 10/10 is not bad, because also any stats to him also help the ram. So sure, we can go ahead and go there. So let's go for Burblefish. We don't really need the catalyst anymore, other than just the sustain. So let's get rid of a couple of these. We want the combat cook for some item generation if we need it. All right, let's keep Ooh, we don't actually have an equipment, but Ornn will generate one. Round end of my Barret. Didn't attack this round. Granted Gloom to play discard 1. Sure, we should be able to do that. All right, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. I think we can discard this one to equip our Ornn. So yeah, sadly we don't have a really good equipment.
Welcome.
So our other one gave us regen and challenger, which was pretty nice. That's okay. We're going to use the purify potentially on their
This is
shark,
what good looks like.
but we'll probably use it to kind of mess with their elusives. One of their elusives. I think let's drop this here to kill that one. I don't want them to be able to nab. And let's see what we get as far as an extra copy of one of our champions. All right, so we have a Jarvan. If we play him, we won't have enough mana for our Purify, and they're very likely to just attack with their elusives. Let's drop this here. Let's go for the one with extra health. All right, they shouldn't have anything to kill our Ornn. They potentially could kill our combat cook, but we still want to buff up our Ornn. Just that's focus speed, which is why we're waiting. Okay, so they are attacking with everyone. What's going to stop the most damage? I mean, killing these is nice, but I think let's silence that one right there. And sure, let's block it. All right, so not great, but this shouldn't be too bad because this will be a solid attack. We'll get our Jarvan to attack alongside us, and then we have a Cataclysm for another attack as well.
You're all in trouble now.
So we should be able to end this round. Although if they don't play any units, yeah, we don't have any units to challenge, and they're wanting to end because they always know what cards you have, it seems like. I kind of bet if we played this that they would play something. I kind of want to see. Oh, they're still not going to. All right. All right, we could end. I think let's actually go here for the little bit of sustain. And then if they play one more card, we'll just still drop our Cataclysm. Or at least one more unit, I should say.
No need to thank me. It's no trouble.
Yeah, that hitting our Nexus isn't great. And now we can't actually get our attack with Jarvan. But it doesn't really matter.
First language.
GG.
Here comes my molten friend.
Give allies 4/4 this round and rally as an 8 cost. I mean, it is actually playable now that we have 10 mana. Sure. For turns where we don't have the attack token, could be nice. Let's go for the shop. This would give us another blocker. That's something. Gain some more Cataclysms could actually be really good for us. I think let's do a reroll here. Grandeur Plaza is quite nice. And yeah, let's get some Cataclysms. That could really help us end. I think we'll hold off on the rest. We could heal, but I think we'll try to cut a card. Gallant Rider is pretty bad. I think we'll get rid of the stones just because it's a ramp spell that we really don't need. Because we're starting at 10. And let's hit up Sejuani. All right, we have double Ornn. That'll actually be very good because then we know we're going to pull out our Jarvan, which we really like. I guess we actually have, we have more copies of Ornn. Forgot about that. We don't have an equipment, but he will generate one. So we have the Bone Club there. It costs 2 less. Let's see. Manifest equipment, I guess my camera's in the way, but Manifest equipment reduces cost by 2, so we should still be able to play this. It should be a 3 cost.
No further pleasantries needed.
Also, yeah, we just got Overwhelm from our Grandeur Plaza. That is big. So, Sejuani's gone, we're leveled, and we got a nice chunk out of their health.
See the Devastian border from here.
All right, we're going to hit up a Champion Strength this next round. They're just blowing through their entire hand. So this next attack will do a lot of damage, but
Nothing standing.
I mean, it's not too bad. Sure. We'll actually go for a Purify here just to reduce damage a little bit. We still have enough for the rally, but I think we'll actually save that since we got a Cataclysm. Suppose we could play both of these. Would make him a little bit bigger. Sure. It'll help him scale up a bit, but shouldn't really matter. All right, let's go ahead and attack like this.
Fails. You're all in trouble now.
All right, so a lot of damage. They're not quite ending, but we're about to get the attack token again, so we will just immediately attack, and then if we need to go for a champion strength for another rally, we can.
Here comes my molten friend.
But this should be, yep, GG. All right, so Titanify is not really going to help us. Vampiric Scepter is not bad. That is a good chunk of sustain. We could go for a Revolt for something a little bit crazier. I think we'll save these. The Vampiric Scepter healing up like 7 every single, not round, but every like battle would be a good amount. That is a lot of healing. So that should keep us nice and topped up. Deceptively Deadly is not bad. Stabilize is okay as well. If we were playing our Ornn, he was already leveled, this would be great. But like it is going to be 2 big units, but we're not going to get the rams, and so normally they're just going to get blocked. I think we'll actually probably go for the Deceptively Deadly. Stabilize can be really good though, but it's also when you play a champion, so if we summon like our Jarvan, he's not going to trigger this. Yeah, I think we'll go for the combat trick, so that'll be nice. Let's go for extra champion items, so Hunters. Let's get rid of both of these since we have both of our champions. That is excellent. All right, once again, we'll just drop our giant Ornn. Ooh, Great Hammers is nice, especially since we don't actually have a... Right, that is great. Let's drop the favorite artisan. That is a little sad, but we can still go right here, and by forging this up, our Ornn will be able to copy it, so we're not really losing out on these stats, but that was a little sad. I think we'll get rid of the Sea Scarab, even though the Hunters can be a little scary. Right, I forgot they had that. I would like to drop our Ornn, but I think we'll pass because I don't want them to play it again. They're still sitting at 8 mana.
Tell me a story about Ornn, Hertha.
Once long ago.
All right, now they're below that amount, so let's drop him. Let's actually forge that first. Now we can drop Ornn, copy
Now this is what
that equipment.
Ever been to a blacksmith before?
Stare at the abyss. It'll stare back.
All right, they'll probably just attack if they're elusive. Oh, they're actually attacking with everyone. Damn, they're
This is hot, you know.
interesting. That won't be enough, but we can put it right here.
Stories untold.
All right, so we can go ahead and equip that one. And then this next round we should be able to end, because we can attack with both of these units. We will also get Jarvan to attack alongside us. And then since we'll have Jarvan, we'll use his champion spell, the champion strength.
Somebody hold my beer.
And we're just going to buff up Ornn before we attack. That way he is able to make the ram bigger.
All in trouble now.
Oh, are they going to mill themselves to death? Yes. All right, so they are out of cards, and we're already ending, so we'll just play this just for a little bit of a heal. And yep, that's GG. I think we'll do this just for the extra copies. Like, the Sapphire Crystal obviously doesn't matter, but more copies of this. The Drain is nice, but the Champion draw is pretty big. Alright, so Gigaphage to make our Ornn even bigger, or reduce down his cost to a 5 cost. That would give us the opportunity to try to play some other stuff with him. Sure, let's go ahead and grab that. Shop. Having A equipment's not bad. Health potion's not bad. Explosive Finale. I feel like we're not killing that many units, maybe like 1 or 2 a match, if even. So let's do a reroll. Sure, Frostbite is fine. What do we have here? So Fey Guide or Spells Chest. I think we can... Having one of these just so we have A equipment isn't terrible, although our Ornn is going to be making an equipment, so normally that won't really matter. This does have Scout, though. So Scout can be pretty big. Sure, I think we'll go right here, even though it doesn't have stats. If we can get our Ornn to attack twice, that'll be huge. And yeah, we'll try to go for the Fey Guide. If we could give, like, our Ornn elusive, that'd be hilarious. So let's go ahead and go here. All right, this looks great. We get our Ornn, and then a lot of our spells are actually pretty important. Since we have the extra mana, we should be able to get Ornn and go for a Cataclysm. So let's drop him here. Should be able to copy the Bone Club. Alright, the Frostbite does suck, but not the end of the world.
Stand on your own 2 feet, and nothing shall move you.
So, still probably won't be able to do quite enough in order to level. Yeah, because we have the strike for 8, which isn't necessarily the best. Let's go ahead and attack like this.
Fighting is my first language. Somebody hold my beer.
Alright, this will let us level.
Wanted the god of the forge, you got it.
So we could have done a lot more damage there. That Frostbite was pretty rough, but often Frostbite can just completely shut you down. So the fact that we're able to still get 2 attacks in, kill 2 targets, and level is pretty big. Alright, let's drop our rally. Our units are big enough, so we should be fine. Again, the Frostbite, pretty annoying. Alright, let's try to buff him up as much as possible, because the bigger he is, the bigger the ram is. Sure, let's go ahead and kill that. This unit will die, but that's fine.
Here comes my molten friend.
Alright, let's drop this one,
That's why Smith.
and let's put this one right here. So we'll be able to immediately attack. If they have burst speed Frostbite, that will suck. But at least, since we're attacking right away, the ram should also get the stats before they gets frostbitten. And they only have 2 cards left. Alright, fantastic. GG, lifesteal. Perfect. Alright, we'll go for more of the Piercing Darkness. Again, we're getting all these Sapphire Crystals that do not help us at all. But more copies of this is nice, just for that champion draw. Fey Guide, nice. Able to get elusive for that Ornn, so they won't be able, or they'll struggle to block him a little bit more. We can get rid of the Gallant Rider. Probably never going to want to play it. And let's go for Gangplank. All right, this is pretty good. We get Ornn, we get Scout, we get our Jarvan. This should be pretty excellent. We don't have a equipment, but yeah, we have that. Oh, look, Bone Club.
Fine, I'm here. Let's get on with it.
So he already gave himself the Scout, which isn't too bad.
An iron
This is probably going to be pretty ridiculous. I don't think they should have anything that can stop this.
Somebody hold my beer.
So this is a Scout attack to give us the level up.
Now this is what good looks like.
Alright, Dreadway is pretty scary, but again, they shouldn't be able to do anything to stop this. I mean, we could play our Bellows first, but that Gangplank is going to do 20 damage, oh my word. It is slow though, so technically we could play this and kill that, and scale us up a little bit more, sure.
Nothing like the stink of blood.
Alright,
Get over.
that should just be GG. Yep. That was pretty great. Thematically, Ornn is actually one of my favorite champions. I know many people consider him to be like the worst champion in the game or one of the worst, which I don't particularly agree with, especially after they kind of adjusted some of his star powers. I think he's actually a pretty solid 3-star. Still though, able to come away with the win with essentially no relics, since these all just give us 1/1 as far as stats, and almost going from like level 30 to now level 40. Pretty solid. And normally for an adventure this high, especially without relics, Ornn would definitely struggle. But this is just a kind of great showcase that with some of the right modifiers, you can clear some of these higher end adventures with these lower tier champions and get a lot of XP. So that was pretty good. Not even that painful. We were able to OTK the enemy and end most fights in like second or third turn generally. Overall, pretty good though. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, like and subscribe as always is greatly appreciated, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.